So my mom's a minister. She's the good kind. And she's, all pro-gay marriage and stuff. And she and I have had a really long struggle around gender and sexuality, mostly around sexuality. Now it's starting to be about gender. I came out, so I had my first boyfriend when I was 13, and I got my first girlfriend when I was 15. And the way my mother found out that I had a girlfriend was she walked in on us making out topless on my bed, which I really don't recommend. Lock the door. And she was very upset by this and just caught off guard and oh my god, and we had some crying, loud, and screaming fights, and it was kind of traumatizing. And she, she's like, okay, well, tell me, are you a lesbian? I need to know. And I'm like, I don't think so. And she says, well, why are you dating this girl? And I'm like, I like her. And she says, well, what's the deal then? I'm like, well, I think I'm bisexual. And she says, no, bisexuality is bullshit. And I'm like, okay, you just shut that conversation down for 8 years. 8 years later, I got out of a relationship that was very serious with a man. It ended, and my mom got on the phone with me, and she says, hey, I just wanted to let you know that if you want to pursue non-heterosexual relationships, I'm okay with that. I was like, that's really awesome, Mom, thank you. So, I'm in San Francisco, and I start dating everybody. I'm like, all right, I gotta figure out the sexuality thing, because, bisexuality is bullshit, so I can't be that, so I'm something. Let's go figure it out. And I'm dating men, and I'm dating women, and I'm now kind of proud of the fact that I'm dating women, and my mom wants me to be, so I'm telling her about it. 3 months go by, and I'm not in a relationship with anybody. I'm just going on dates here and there, and my mother calls me, and she says, so I told your grandparents. I was like, what'd you tell them, Mom? She says that you're a lesbian, they're fine with it. They say, whatever it is, what it is. I'm like, oh, thanks. We didn't really get into the, I don't think I'm a lesbian. I never told you I'm a lesbian. Why are you telling my grandparents I'm a lesbian conversation for another few months? And so okay, talk at that for a second. Now I'm talking about gender more often and more openly. Like, in addition to the way I dress when I wake up in the morning, I also have, when I look at the way I view the world, the way I make choices, the way I hold myself, the way I have ambitions and my goals. If you were to stereotypically say, what's the difference between a man and a woman, and put things into categories, the things that I choose are often in the man column, regardless of how I appear. So I'm just trying to analyze this and look at it and see what this means. I'm talking about it a little more often, and I have a website about it. So my mom knows I'm working on this, and so she thinks that I'm about to come out as a boy. And she's trying to prepare herself for it. And so she comes up to me and she says, Sarah, if you want to cut off your breasts and have a penis, I'll be okay with it. I'm like, that's not really what I'm talking about right now, thanks, but I appreciate the thought. I hang out with trans people. I have a lot of trans people friends, and so she's making a lot of leaps right now. And at Christmas, actually, just a few months ago, she says, so is there another name you want me to start calling you by? I'm like, no. So she's trying really hard to be accepting, and parents screw up. That's what they do for a living, and she's just decided that the way she's going to screw up is by being overly accepting. And I'm here, I'm further along than you are, so I can create the welcoming space for you if you want it. And this is great in theory, and I adore her, and my friends just giggle because she's awesome. But the problem with the way she's approaching it is she's still stuck in this binary thing of you're either this or that, and I'm in between, and she still hasn't seen it, and she's starting to, and this is being taped, and I might actually put it on the internet, so hi Mom. She's working on it, and I think we'll get there.